Greetings, royal family, and welcome to another message by the Honorable Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beit Nun Sophie, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Now, royal family, this message was taught many years ago by the Honorable Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh and is being presented to you today by Yahweh's royal priesthood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at Yahweh's royal priesthood, www.yahweh144000.com. And also, royal family, join us at the University of Yahweh, where classes are designed for the Godhead. Visit us at www.universityofyahweh.org. Also, royal family, listen to our weekly podcasts by the University of Yahweh, found on most podcast platforms. We look forward to you being there as well. Enjoy, royal family.
Shalom Aleichem. Peace be unto all of you. Know that I mean from the bottom of my heart a Neahov. It is my pleasure to be with you tonight. We've had another great day of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh, showing forth his divine hand of intervention in the affairs of our life, blessing us to overcome those who oppose the nation of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh and the glorification of the name of our Holy Father, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Again, I'm extremely happy to speak with you tonight. I cannot say that I will speak to you for any length of time due to the fact that we're in the middle of trial and we're in the middle of our defense, so that requires my energy, a great deal of my energy, my attention. However, my love for you is so overpowering that though I could really enjoy laying my body down after all the hours I've been awake today and dealing with the rigors of the enemy of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh twisting everything that stands for good. Truly, they are very adept at making all things sweet seem bitter. And they're very adept at making all things that are good appear to be bad. At this time, I would also like to thank Yahweh for every one of you that are working so hard in making certain that the name Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh is glorified in your city, in your area. I thank Yahweh for you who are letting everyone that you can in your city know about our show, From Poverty to Riches, how to move from poverty to riches. I'm sure that you are gaining an ever-increasing audience as you let people know about this program and what it really means to them, to you, and the future of this whole planet Earth. Keep up the good work and know that your reward comes from Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh for all of your energies put forth in glorifying and publishing the name Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. I'm also very happy for all of you that are studying your names and understanding that your name is the key to heaven. And your name is what connects you directly to my name. And you learn that this is the source of all power. And it helps to fulfill something I said to you years ago. When you find out who you are, you truly will know who I am. We've had some very shocking revelations come to your city relative to me removing the divine mark of protection from the forehead of Cain and his evil, wicked descendants. All of you should be blessed to have heard or read by now of me removing the sting of noon from Adam and the descendants of Adam, who are none other than the children of Israel today. These are worldwide earthquake shattering bits of not only wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but in fact acts. I have actually performed this work, and it is in the ether, and it is in motion, and no one or anything can prevent this from having the desired effect. I also am very happy to let you know that Malak is truly in the process of rolling this stone away to my tomb. I'm very happy that we're in the morning of the third day, and it's a joy and a thrill to present to you that knowledge which will be coming out this weekend around the country. I'm sure that it will be made available to your various lodges in every single city, and I hope and pray that you avail yourselves of that opportunity. Tonight, I'm going to do something totally different from what I had normally planned to do, and bring to your attention that Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Bet Nun Sofit Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh is the Savior, the Messiah, the central theme of Genesis. And of course, I must take you to Luke chapter 24, verses 25 and verse 27 before I begin this, because this is the background and the foundation of what I feel inclined to share with you tonight. Luke chapter 24, verses 25. O fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken, ought not Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh ben Yahweh to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, I'm expounding unto you in all the scriptures the things concerning myself. So this is coming true for you through Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Bet Nun Sofit Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Again, if you're slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken, then you'll miss what I'm bringing to you tonight, how Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Bet Nun Sofit Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh begins right at Genesis, and I move all the way through Revelations, which proves I come in the volume of the book. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. I hope your pencils and paper are out, or you're fast moving through the scriptures, or you get this tape, or you get this transcript. We have some very priceless transcripts there with you this feast of Passover and unleavened bread. So you'll want to get these transcripts as a part of your library. They're an essential, indispensable part of your library. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. So that's what's going on, and I'm starting, just as Luke 24 tells you, I'm starting at Genesis. And at this time, I'm going with Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. So understand that Genesis moves from the general to the specific in its messianic predictions. And you must understand tonight that Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Bet Nun Sofit Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh is the seed of the woman of Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. I am the seed of the woman, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So we can look up enmity, and we'll come to a better understanding of just what it is between these two seeds. Now, of course, we're talking about enmity between me and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. So it's though both come through the woman in some instances, you're talking about two different seeds that are being born through her. Now, enmity means animosity. There's going to be animosity between Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beth Nun Sophie, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, and the seed of Lucifer, who is Cain and his descendants, who are also known as the God of this world, the prince of this world. And that's what's being played out in this trial. That's exactly what's being played out in this trial of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beth Nun Sophie, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh here in Fort Lauderdale. This enmity also means animus or hostility. You can see the hostility that's headed toward the nation of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Enmity means hatred, dislike, unfriendliness, malignity, male violence, and malice. You find this enmity coming from the seed of Lucifer, Cain, and their descendants is that of spite and venom and grudge. You'll find this enmity coming from the seed of Lucifer, as Cain expressed it by killing and murdering Abel. Also translates into ill will and rancor, acrimony. You'll find the same hatred that Cain felt for Abel as the son of Lucifer manifests itself in their descendants today by their bitterness toward us, their hard feelings. We don't have to do anything to them except just exist, and they're full of antagonism. We don't have to say anything to them that's harsh. Just be kind and sweet to them, and they'll still show invidiousness and antipathy. We also, no matter how much love we show to the seed of Cain, who are the descendants of Lucifer, Cain, the murderer of our brother, our righteous brother, Abel, what they show us is bad blood. They have a natural aversion to us. For our good, they reward us evil. This is a fulfillment of what's happening to me. I have built a kingdom of good. And what do I get? Enmity in the form of alienation. And, yes, estrangement. That's what it is. I get, they're contentious toward me. No matter how wonderful my works that you're witnesses to, this enmity is manifested through opposition. This opposition is through the seed of Cain. Every one of them, nationwide or worldwide. This is the enmity that was promised in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. The seed of Cain shows repugnance. They hold us as if we're repugnant in their eyesight. All of the righteous, they just hate the righteous. They hate those who are good. And every one of you have been experiencing that all of your life. If you're good, you have been experiencing this enmity, even if it's from your own family, born from the same womb, coming through the same loins or loins as you come through. It's just there. I mean, people that you think are your brother because they're born of the same mother and father, and you find pure hatred in those families. I saw on television tonight during the news session that a man choked his wife to death because she had the television up too loud. I mean, can you imagine? This woman is gone because she had the TV up too loud. What a world this is under Lucifer, Cain, and their descendants. So understand here when we look at Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, just exactly who this is referring to. And Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh is talking to the serpent in verse 14 and said, because he has done this, he's cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. So therefore he has a beast mentality. He's not a human. He has a human form, but he is not of a human mindset. He has a beast-like mindset. So here I am in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, where I'm suffering this enmity and being bruised by the serpent. So let's go from here to Romans chapter 16, verse 20, which is a reference to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And Yahweh, the God of peace, shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. Are you reading that? Turn to it and look at it for yourself. Romans chapter 16, verse 20. I'm here to let you know that this is not going to last very long. This is not going to continue, this enmity. It's coming to an end. Notice, and Yahweh, the God of peace, shall bruise Satan under your feet soon. Now, that's why he's depicted as a serpent, crawling on his belly. That makes him in the dust. He is crawling on his belly means that there's something connected to his stomach that consumes him. He's always in touch with the dirt. Is two things. One is his appetite. In the meantime, turn to Philippians 3:19 while I continue to tell you about crawling on his belly. That's where his stomach is, where food. He just has an insatiable appetite to eat. Also is a sexual connection. He has an insatiable appetite for sex. He can't be satisfied. No matter how much he indulges, it's just a wild, all-consuming passion. He runs like something insane, totally out of his mind, 24 hours a day. When he can't continue, he just goes wild anyway. He just goes all off. I know you understand. I don't wish to get base as he already is. He's totally base, totally carnal, and he worships his belly. And that's his curse. That's a curse. To eat all day like a pig and never have enough. That's a curse. It's a curse to indulge in sex till you don't have anything, but you're still driven and can't stop, but there's nothing there, but you're just frustrated and you got this piggish appetite, but you're too full to take on anymore. I mean, it's insane. But that's his curse that he's under. And since he's the God of this world, guess what? He has taught you to take on this attitude. Isn't that amazing? He has infected the whole planet Earth with chain restaurants and gourmet food centers, trash food centers. It's just several per block. You go to any city, any town, it's just every corner is food, something to eat. That's to try to satisfy his curse. So he's given the lust of the flesh. So before I get to that, I gave you one just a moment ago, Philippians 3:19. Let's look at that for a second. Philippians chapter 3, verse 19. But my God, Yahweh, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. That's that curse that Lucifer, the serpent, the beast, Cain, and his descendants are under. Their belly is their God. They worship everything connected to their belly. And it's a pure curse. Now the other scripture that I was about to give you, John chapter 2, verse 16. John chapter 2, verse 16. And it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, Yahweh, but is of the world. That takes care of all of the lusts. Materialism, food, insatiable sex appetites, everything that's carnal. Everything that the world goes for, sport, play, gambling, wine, song, entertainment. I mean, this is the world is just caught up in these things, and they don't have any peace. They don't have any peace whatsoever. But when we go back to Romans 16:20, let's take a notice of something here. that you would ordinarily overlook in Romans 16:20 in bruising Satan. Let's read it again. And the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. So what is it that's really going to tear Satan up? Peace. Peace. So we want to take a look at that, which is just totally disruptive to Satan's kingdom. That's why I'm called the Prince of Peace in Isaiah 9:6. I come as the Prince of Peace. That just totally wipes out Satan's kingdom of his hatred and opposition and the things that I just shared with you a moment ago under enmity. Peace means I come to establish a warlessness, a non-war society, where there will be a lack of warfare, an absence of conflict, an absence of hostility. Now this is what I'm come to do. Now, look at what you are familiar with in your little short life, in what the God of this world is doing and has done and is his history. Has it not been one of murder and killings since Cain? That's his society. This is not a new phenomenon. You think what you're experiencing with blood in the streets, destruction in the street, muggings and drugs and evil in the street, where the people that love peace are afraid to walk in their neighborhoods. The people of peace are afraid to walk the streets, go through the city without fear of violence upon their person. People are afraid to leave and then are afraid to go back inside their houses for fear that someone is in there lurking and waiting to do them harm. Afraid to go to bed at night, lest violent people come in while they're in their home where they would like to feel safe. Nothing but wars and rumors of wars. We found that in the day of Noah, the men thought evil continually. Genesis chapter 6. You find that men thought evil continually all the day long. So much so that Yahweh repented for having made man upon the earth. And he was sorry for having put them here. And destroyed them, all but 8 people. But then this evil has multiplied all over the face of the earth to the point from 8 people have multiplied to 5 billion. That's B with the B as in boy. 5 billion people have come from 8. And look at what's going on in the earth. So that seed carried over from before the flood. Cain made it inside of the 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. In Noah's son, the seed of Cain was right there, in the scrotum, in the genes and chromosomes, good and bad. See, the tree that they ate from in the day of Adam and Eve, that tree of good and evil is within the woman. It's right there. So she brings forth both seeds from Cain and from Adam all together. Both seeds are brought right through the woman to this very day. And what do you see? Good and bad in the same families. Good and bad in the same community. Good and bad in the same country. Good and bad all over the earth. This is going on to this very moment. But the thing that's destructive to his kingdom, that will destroy him, is peace. Now that's why I want you to get this lesson real clear in your mind tonight, that the Prince of Peace is talking tonight. Though you would normally think that my subject is strictly the seed of the woman, well, let's leave the heading maybe the seed of the woman, and the subheading or subtitle most assuredly would be the Prince of Peace is the seed of this woman. And let's look a little more Peace is pacification and appeasement and reconciliation. You see, I'm here to reconcile the righteous ones back to the original family of Adam, who's been asleep for 5,996 years now. And I'm waking you up. And various ones of you are beginning to awaken across the country. I thank you, Yahweh, for you that are listening to me now that are conscious and awake, are coming to an ever-increasing conscious state. It's a blessing just to be able to hear me teach on a subject like this, read it in your scriptures, and then be understanding what I'm saying, or to have come to understand what I've been saying to you about Noon and Wav and Malak, and the 3 days that you'll be understanding this week coming up. Hopefully before you leave the feast, or by the time you return home, you will have it. As the Prince of Peace, I'm here to make a settlement and establish a truce. Now, the truce that I'm here to establish is not between me and Satan, because Satan is indelibly wicked. There's no way to make a truce with him. Did you notice what he did with the Indians? He had a truce. The other word for it there was treaty. Now, the Indians made treaties with Cain's seed. He lost every time. Every nation on earth that has ever made a truce with the seed of Cain has been tricked, deceived, and overpowered. He came to our land, or at least where we were residing, and the first thing he said was Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, and took us in under old John Hawkins. And we've been over here suffering for 437 years because of that same trick. He talked peace, but there's not a peaceful bone in his body. But yet, I have not come to set up a truce with him, or to establish a treaty or an armistice with him. The ceasefire is going to come through those who love peace. We're going to refuse to fight a war with him on a physical level, which is what he has spent the last 5,996 years preparing for. He cannot handle the Godhead. He has no ability to handle the Godhead. He has no way of fighting the genius Godhead of peace and righteousness. It's just impossible. Peace means to bring about a cessation or suspension of hostilities, an end of war, an abeyance. We're going to have an interlude, a respite, a breathing spell. It's called a permanent breathing spell. As the Prince of Peace, I'm here to establish harmony, harmoniousness, and symphony. I am here to establish accord and compatibility between us. See, what Lucifer has done is destroyed our compatibility for one another. So we who love righteousness are going to have to come to each other and establish a truce. We are the ones who need the truth. We are the ones who need harmony. Satan is not looking for harmony. There's nothing. You've had 5,996 years trying to reform him, and he was given a limited period of time to be reformed, 6,000 years. Yahweh said from the beginning, 5,996 years ago, if you do well, Cain, I'll let you rule over my kingdom forever. Genesis chapter 4, around verses 5 and 6. If you do well, I'll let you rule my kingdom forever. So I'm bringing to your remembrance the contract and the bond and the conditional bond that Cain was under. Now his bond has to be revoked. So he's coming to trial now to stand for judgment day. Someone has to be the judge. And the one who has the power and authority to judge has to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about what must be done. And I'm the only one on the planet that is here letting you know exactly who, the players are and the part that they have all played. And I'm letting you understand what it is that constitutes this judgment and how it's being taken care of through the Prince of Peace. You would normally think, well, what we need to do is go out and try to establish a treaty with Satan. No, you better remember Satan took heaven by violence and ruled it by force. Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. Let's read it again.
Matthew 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
So that's what's going on. There's no way you're going to make a truce with someone who's been ruling by violence and force for 6,000 years. He's not about to change. He's more set for war now than ever in the history of his beginning till to this day, his existence as de facto government and rulers. No, he destroyed the harmony that was between Adam and Eve. He destroyed the peace and the love that was between Adam and Eve. He destroyed their natural accord and sowed discord. He found Adam and Eve trusting Yahweh with all their heart, mind, soul, body, and strength, and they had a trust with each other. But he sowed distrust. They were of honor together. He made them dishonorable. So there's no way to win. That's his foundation. His foundation, the God of this world's foundation, is the opposite of peace. So my coming as the Prince of Peace, I have automatically fallen into the spiritually wicked hands, the hands of the spiritually wicked in high places, which is the nature of this trial. And the charges have nothing at all to do with my being here. You understand, it's right here rooted in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. Enmity between the two seeds. So naturally, since I come as the Prince of Peace, how can I come through the seed of Abraham, through those who've been hit in the head so thoroughly as Hiram's children, another euphemistic term for us who are the seed of Adam, children of Adam. Here we are, totally dead, buried the maximum 6 feet in America, so much so we're considered disconnected dry bones. And it's at least the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So it's us, the children of Adam, the children of Israel, who need the spirit of corporativeness between us. We need the spirit of cooperation between us. I'm here to establish rapport and friendship, cordiality, and goodwill and brotherhood between us. The enemy is trying to make us have a brotherhood of other than peace. They're twisting our peaceful, loving, sweet, and kind, compassionate, helpful brotherhood and giving it a nasty name. Make you almost afraid to say brotherhood. No. As the Prince of Peace, I'm here establishing you must have brotherhood and a true sisterhood between yourself. Comradeship and fellowship, unity and oneness. As the Prince of Peace, with what I'm teaching you to have for each other, will establish public order, law and order and orderliness. I'm here to cause you to be tranquil one with the other. Establish tranquility. And I'm here to establish serenity and calmness between each other, so that no husband and wife will fall asleep with hatred in their heart at night. The law of Yahweh is that no man should go to bed angry. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Let's see if it's that. Ephesians 4:27. Let's turn. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. Let's start at verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. That's it. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil. Okay? So don't ever let the sun go down on your anger while you're angry. I mean, you expect to go to heaven or be in heaven and wake up in the morning or something and your wife is not there, or your husband has passed, and you're left angry. What a terrible, distasteful memory. What a horrible memory. How can you start off tomorrow in the morning on the good foot when you went to bed on the bad foot? You stay up all night long with bad thoughts in your head. Well, it's the enemy that has brought this about in your life. So I'm here to establish placidity between you, your husband and your wife, your children, and all, and peace of mind, being at ease, and establish a quiet and silence and hush and stillness between you and those who love peace, your real family. So I hope that this class here of Genesis chapter 3 verse 15 has been of benefit to you, and I hope Romans chapter 16 verse 20 is where I'm stopping tonight. I hope that Romans chapter 16 verse 20 will give you rest when you think of the fact that the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly, where he can't bite your heel anymore, bruise your heel, or your, anymore. Won't that be a wonderful day? Isn't that a wonderful thought? The Prince of Peace obviously is here, because who else is here to reconcile you with your brother? Before you can be reconciled to your brother, you have to learn who your brother is. And your brother, as you learn from this trial, is not someone who is your same color. No one is your brother and sister because they have your skin color, or texture of hair, or their lips are as thick as yours, or their nose is wide, or their behind is as fat, or their feet is big and flat. Your brother and your sister is not those who are born in the same womb as you. That was very clearly stated in the Word, that Matthew chapter 12, 46 through 50 tells you how to identify your family. Those who do the will of Yahweh, the same is your brother, sister, mother, father, family member. Those who do the will of Yahweh is your family. Are you to show animosity toward those who come from the womb? I didn't say that. Are you to show hostility to those who come from your mother's womb? I didn't say that. You don't have to worry about it. They'll show it to you. I am saying you're looking for peace. You have to associate with peaceable people. Those who love peace, you who love peace can find peace together. And the only way that you're going to have peace on the earth together is to find those that love peace, who are peaceable. And the only ones who are going to be doing that are those who do the will of Yahweh. Not those who say Shalom Aleichem, are not necessarily those who are doing the will of Yahweh. Not those who are wearing white garments and wearing a diadem are your brothers and sisters, unless they're doing the will of Yahweh. Not those who say they're Hebrew Israelites are your brothers and sisters, unless they're doing the will of Yahweh. Not everybody who says, Hallelujah, Yahweh, are your brothers and sisters, unless they're doing the will of Yahweh. Not everyone who speaks Hebrew is your brother and sister, unless they're doing the will of Yahweh. Understand that well. We're talking about building the kingdom of peace. And that's why I'm teaching you true holiness and righteousness tonight. That's what you're hearing. True holiness and righteousness is what I'm teaching you. And every one of you who love true holiness and righteousness will accept me bridging the gap between you and your true brothers and sisters who are doing the will of Yahweh. You don't have to be confused. You know each other by your works. Those that love righteousness are doing the works of righteousness. Those that love evil and trouble and confusion, need I say more? You'll be looking right at Genesis 3:15. It's the day of separation. Separate yourself from the evildoer. I hope that I've been a blessing to your spirit and soul tonight. I certainly have enjoyed you, Yahweh, teaching me tonight. I enjoyed this lesson to the highest. I'm sure some of you are hungry by now and would like to eat some unleavened bread and bitter herbs to remind you of what Passover is all about, of how Yahweh delivered us, our forefathers, through the leadership of Moses from Egypt under the hard taskmaster, Pharaoh, his people and his army. We're facing that same deliverance today, the same period of time. If you research back through the solar calendar, you will find that Moses and the children of Israel were delivered at this exact time at the vernal equinox. And I too shall rise this morning, the morning of the vernal equinox. That's for sure. It is written. Luke chapter 2, verse 34, tells you that this child, Yahweh Bethnu Sophie Yahweh, is set for the fall and the rising again. That's who you're talking to. And don't be dismayed. This race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but those who endure until the end. And we're just about at the end. Yahweh has never lost a battle nor a war. And he may not fight like you want him to or at the moment that you figure, but you can count on Yahweh being victorious. Just keep your hand in his hand. Fight the good fight so that when the bridegroom comes, you can enter into the chamber and the marriage supper. All of you that love peace and righteousness and true holiness, you'll be able to sit in with me in the chamber. I love you. I love you eternally. And I pray at this moment, I'd like to see each of you just at least look around and shake the hand of a righteous brother and sister and say, Aniyahov, hallelujah, Yahweh. Again, I love you. Bless you forever.